Are you still trading your best hours going into an office for a paycheck that barely covers the bills? Well, the smart money isn't in your 9 to 5 anymore. And it's not just for the money, but also for work-life balance and job satisfaction. In this video, we're going to explore the top 10 happiest remote jobs paying top money to people who made the switch. Today, we're diving deep into jobs that'll make you happier than a dog with two tails. And trust me, I've been on both sides of the cubicle wall, from corporate zombie to remote work enthusiast. I've seen it all. So let's jump in and find your dream job that doesn't just pay the bills, but feeds your soul too. Let's kick things off with a job that's not just fulfilling, it's downright life-changing. Online teaching tops our list with a mind-blowing 95% job satisfaction rate. Now that's higher than a cat on a hot tin roof. And according to the latest data, online teachers are pulling in a total pay range of $43,000 to $64,000 a year. So it's not exactly tech startup money, but hey, for a job that you can do in your pajamas, it's not too shabby. But hold on to your hats, folks, because some online teachers are absolutely crushing it. For instance, take Phil Ebener. This guy's not just making a living, he's building an empire from his living room. During the pandemic, Phil saw his Udemy courses explode in popularity. We're talking over 3 million enrollments in just a couple of weeks. For instance, Phil says, I had some of my best months. I think I did over 20,000 from my own promotions on Udemy. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Some months he was pulling in a cool $30,000. But what makes online teaching so incredibly satisfying? Well, imagine sharing your passion and expertise with eager minds from all corners of the globe. You're not just teaching, you're opening doors and changing lives. And the best part, you've got the flexibility to teach when it suits you. Early bird? Great. Schedule your classes at dawn. Night owl? No problem. The midnight oil is your friend. Now, I'll be honest, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You need to be self-motivated and tech-savvy to thrive in this digital classroom. But the rewards, they can be sweeter than finding an extra chicken nugget in your order. Now, with all joking aside, seeing your students' eyes light up with understanding, even through a screen, that's a feeling that'll warm your heart faster than a cup of cocoa on a winter night. And while you might not be rolling in dough, you're going to be rich in purpose. And isn't that what life's all about? Now, if you're excited about the possibility of teaching in your pajamas, give this video a thumbs up. Next up, we've got the modern day fortune tellers of the digital age, which is going to be the data scientist or the data analyst. And with a solid 53% meaning score, these number crunching wizards are finding more fulfillment than you might expect. If you know how to crunch numbers and you can really understand data, you can make relatively accurate predictions about what's going to happen in the future. And the cherry on top is the paycheck. According to the latest data, data scientists are pulling in a total pay range of $127,000 to $206,000 a year. Not too shabby for diving deep into data oceans, right? So what makes these data dynamos so darn happy? Well, imagine being the Sherlock Holmes of the digital world, solving complex puzzles that impact millions of lives. You're not just playing with numbers, you're uncovering insights that can change the course of businesses and even societies. And let me tell you, the allure of being a data scientist or a data analyst is real, but the demand for data scientists is hotter than a jalapeno eating contest. And this means job security. Plus, you're constantly going to be learning. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. Staying updated with rapidly evolving tech can be as challenging as trying to nail Jell-O to a tree. But if you love puzzles and the idea of making sense out of chaos tickles your fancy, this job might be your golden ticket. Now, if you're serious about transitioning to remote work, I've created a guide to help you navigate this process. It's called Find Your Perfect Remote Career in 15 Minutes. Now, becoming a data scientist is actually quite difficult, but a more entry-level job, a job that's much easier to get into, is going to be data analyst. And Google actually has a phenomenal certificate, the Google Data Analyst Professional Certificate, that I actually made an entire video about, that will teach you exactly how to become a data analyst. And you can check that out by clicking the link in the description and the pinned comment below. Whenever people ask me how to become a data analyst, that is what I always recommend to them. So definitely check it out. Next is going to be a UGC creator. And this means user-generated content creation. And some people consider this to be the new gold rush of the digital age. Now, being a UGC creator isn't just about racking up followers like their Pokemon. It's about building a community more tight-knit than your grandma's knitting circle. And what makes this job a happy maker? Well, how about turning your passion into a full-time gig? For instance, if you're passionate about the outdoors and going hiking, you could review something like a solar oven, which is a really cool device where you can actually cook stuff while you're outdoors. Doesn't matter if you're in the desert or the mountains or on a deserted island, you can use solar to cook stuff. And then of course, if people are interested in it after you've demonstrated it, there will be a link for them to buy. And if you don't think people are making money doing this, well, meet Alyssa, who's a UGC creator who's been at it for over a year now. And she started from scratch, armed with nothing but a notebook and a dream to make content creation her full-time gig. And fast forward to today, and she's pulling in over $55,000 in a single month. Now, that's not to say it's all sunshine and viral videos. Alyssa's journey has been a roller coaster of self-doubt, overwhelming workloads, and the constant pressure to to stay consistent. But here's the kicker. She wouldn't trade it for the world. Why? Because she's living her dream. She's making content that she's passionate about and connecting with people who share her interests. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for Alyssa, but what about the average Joe creator? Well, there are opportunities for you to actually work in jobs doing user-generated content. That's right. There are a lot of companies out there that hire people to make this type of content for their company. And as of late 2024, UGC content creators in the United States make $116,000 a year. And this could be a great training ground for you to first start a brand for a company where you have all of their support and their funding. And then after you've gotten the training and you have the skills, you can go out and do it on your own. Now, let's keep it real for a second. Success as a content creator doesn't happen overnight. It's not like ordering a pizza. You can't just call it in and expect it to show up 30 minutes or less. But the journey of growing your brand, that's where the real joy is. It's like watching your plant baby grow from a tiny seedling into a majestic, slightly larger plant. And every new subscriber, every comment, every share, it's all part of building something that's uniquely yours. Now, by the way, I'm curious, who is your favorite content creator and why? Drop their name in the comments below. All right, so let's quickly go over a job that's more than just typing furiously on a keyboard and chugging energy drinks. That's right, software development. Now, this one actually has a 29% meaning score, which isn't very good. So why did I include it on this list? Well, if you're really good at software development, companies love your skill set so much that they will actually hire you just so that other companies can't. That's right. This is a very common practice that companies that do software actually use, where they hire talent just so that other competitor companies can't get access to you. And because of this, many people who are skilled software engineers actually don't do that much work on a day-to-day basis. And I know this because many of my friends are software engineers, and a lot of them told me that they do maybe 5 to 10 hours of actual work per week. Now, this can get even more ridiculous depending on the specialty that you go into. For instance, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain. It's not just work, it's like being in a digital candy store, but only if you have the skills. And again, Coursera is a great place to learn those skills, so check out the link down in the description and the pinned comment below. And when it comes to your earning potential, it's ridiculous. Even for entry-level software developer roles, you're going to be making about $82,000 to $142,000 a year. And there are some software developers out there that literally make over $1 million a year. And that's not too shabby for a job where you get paid to debate the merits of tabs versus spaces. Now, I won't lie to you. Keeping up with the rapid changes in tech can be challenging, but don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from a real-life code warrior. Reddit user Comeback Kids puts it this way: I've always enjoyed puzzles and strategy, like Sudoku and chess, and programming scratches that itch. I've always enjoyed the feeling of creating something from nothing, and programming scratches that itch. I've always enjoyed poking around things and figuring out what makes them tick, and programming also scratches that itch. So according to Comeback Kids, it sounds like this job hits more spots than a professional masseuse. For instance, he says, sometimes the work is boring, sometimes I'm stuck on documentation duty, sometimes I'm in dependency hell trying to figure out why something doesn't work, but on the balance of things, programming has been incredibly fulfilling and a sometimes fun career for me. So there you have it, folks. If you love problem solving and the idea of building the future one line of code at a time, this job can have you grinning like the Cheshire Cat. Just remember, in the world of software development, you're not just writing code, you're crafting the future, one bug at a time. Have you ever thought about being the Cupid of the corporate world? Well, that's essentially what a technical talent sourcer does. And with a hearty 61% meaning score, it's clear these matchmakers are feeling the love. So what's making these talent scouts happier than a kid in a candy store? Well, by becoming the person who helps others land their dream jobs, you're not just filling the positions, you're changing lives faster than a makeover show. Now let's talk turkey, or should I say, let's talk dollar signs. According to the latest data, these corporate Cupids are pulling in a total pay range of $103,000 to $186,000 per year. That's right, folks. And the median total pay, a cool $137,000 annually. Not too shabby for playing matchmaker between talent and opportunity, right? But don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from someone in the trenches. Meet our anonymous sourcer who says, I genuinely love what I do. That's right. I love what I do. I love being a sourcer. I love being a recruiter. Now that's enthusiasm that you can't fake. And our sourcer friend goes on to say, I love the challenge. I love the hustle. I love the competition. I love the payoff. Sounds like this job hits more high notes than a Mariah Carey Christmas album. But what exactly makes it so rewarding? Well, as our sourcer puts it, that email you get, that text you receive, or that conversation you have in the hallway with the hiring manager telling you how happy they are with their new team member, that's what it's all about. Now, I'll be straight with you. This job requires people skills sharper than a samurai sword and industry knowledge deeper than the Mariana Trench. But if you love networking and the idea of being the bridge between talent and opportunity, this could be your call. And remember, in the world of technical talent sourcing, you're not just finding needles in the haystack, you're finding the exact right needle for the exact right haystack. And let me tell you, that's a skill more valuable than gold in today's job market. So if you've got a knack for matchmaking and a passion for people, technical talent sourcing might just be your ticket to professional bliss. After all, who wouldn't want to be a fairy godmother of the corporate world? Now, by the way, if you know someone who's looking for a career change, make sure you share this video with them. You might just be their fairy godmother of job opportunities. Next, I'm going to briefly go over the career of digital marketing specialist. And this is one that I've talked about many times on this channel. And to be honest, there's many different types of digital marketing specialists, but even at the entry level, you can pull in around $50,000 to $87,000 a year in many cases. Now, some of the most common ones to go into are going to be SEO, pay-per-click, copywriting, and social media management. And it's good to know a little bit about all of them, but chances are you're going to specialize in one of them. So yeah, I've talked about digital marketing a lot on this channel. I'm not going to go over it again, but I think it's a great career, easy one to get into. And I think overall, a lot of people will find something that works for them in digital marketing. So it doesn't really matter whether you're analytical or you're creative or something like that. You're going to find something that matches your personality in digital marketing. And it's also relatively easy to get into without a college degree or previous experience. Now, the next one is a little bit harder to get into, but also it basically pays you to be an artist, which is pretty great. And that's UX UI designer. So this is kind of a combination of technology and art. And it's kind of like being the Michelangelo of the digital world, but instead of painting chapel ceilings, you're going to be crafting user experiences. And according to the latest data, these digital Picassos are pulling in a total of $66,000 to $120,000 per year. That's right, folks. And the median total pay, about $88,000 annually. So there's not many opportunities out there to get paid to do art, especially an online job that pays really well. But it's not the easiest job to get into. I've talked about this quite a bit on this channel. There are some really good UX UI design certificates available on Coursera, and you can take those and get really good training. For instance, the Google UX Design Professional Cert. You can check that out in the description and the pinned comment below. But at the end of the day, you have to have a good portfolio, and you have to prove to them that you actually have the skills that you say you have, which is not the easiest thing to do. So even if you get the best training online, you're still going to have to work on your portfolio and make sure that you have something that's really impressive. Next is an affiliate marketing specialist. And if you've ever dreamed of making money while you sleep, this can make that dream a reality, but there's a whole lot of work that you have to do up front, because it's kind of like being a digital matchmaker that's connecting people with products that they love and getting a sweet commission for your trouble. But first you have to actually get those people's eyeballs on your content, which is not the easiest thing to do. But according to the latest data, these online opportunists are pulling in a total of $52,000 to $82,000 per year. And if you are able to make this work, it's going to offer you more freedom than a bird with a jetpack. But the next one on the list is going to be a little bit more realistic, and that's a financial advisor. And this is a job that's all about helping people achieve their money goals. So it's kind of like being a personal trainer, but for your wallet. And according to the latest data, these money maestros are pulling in a total of $79,000 to $147,000 per year. And here's what others are saying about this field. For instance, this Redditor, Traditional Tangelo65, says, I'm on the other side now though, and leverage those positions into a job at an RIA, which is a small elite team that manages $1 billion. So it looks like he moved up the financial ladder. They go on to say, my boss is great, I'm paid well, I'm being encouraged to continue in my education, and the culture is happy. And honestly, I can see myself spending several years here. So it sounds like this job offers more stability than a balanced portfolio. But here's the kicker. Maybe the ultimate point here is not to let bad teachers, bad managers get in the way of your dreams. And it's fun to talk with people about the market and also help them in an area that makes so much of an impact on people's lives. So yeah, really good job, really good opportunity. People need financial education more than ever. It's something that really should be taught in school, but isn't for some reason. And the last one on the list, I saved this for last. It's not really a job, but it is something that I do for a living, which is becoming a content creator. So I don't think I need to explain this one too much. I'm a content creator. I've been doing it for years now. I get to travel the world. I get to go wherever I want and do whatever I want. For instance, right now I'm in Bangkok, Thailand, and it's pretty much the best lifestyle you can possibly have. And at the same time, you make a ton of money as a YouTuber if you're a successful YouTuber. And becoming a successful YouTuber is the hard part, but it's becoming easier and easier to actually achieve that success. And the most important thing, the thing that sets apart successful creators from unsuccessful ones, is the ideas that they make videos about. That's the number one thing, bar none. And I actually have a free resource that I give out to people that ask me about this. This might be the only time I ever give it out. This is something that I send to friends or like YouTubers that, you know, ask me for advice. And it's called the Idea Factory, which is how to never run out of viral video ideas ever again. And you can check that out by clicking the link down in the description and the pinned comment below. So yeah, becoming a YouTuber is phenomenal. Mr. Beast is making like $100 million+ a year. There's lots of podcasts that are hosted on YouTube that are making crazy money. It's just incredible. And by the way, if you haven't checked it out already, I did make a video on 5 work from home jobs that are actually always hiring. And you can check that out by clicking right here.